So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today I'm joined by Oz Avneya from the band Avneya, which is his first solo record. So, Oz, how are you today?
I'm doing great. It's weekend, tomorrow I'm not working, and it's been a super long week at work and with music and everything. So I feel good. What about you?
Well, it's not the weekend yet. It will be the week. It will be the weekend soon, but yeah, all good. So, for those of you that don't know you, you're a musician that lives in Tel Aviv,
Yeah.
and the album, the first album is called Road to I.
Yeah.
An album that took you 8 years to put all together.
Yeah.
And I know you sent me that email, and you sent me like the background that there's like a concept to this record. So tell me a little bit. Obviously, first of all, my first question is like, why 8 years?
Wow. Basically, I have a band. I have a main band, which is my lifetime enterprise, and the band is Obsidian Tide for any of the people that will watch who might heard about us. And, at the end of the day, this is the main focus. And it also took a lot of time to work on the songs for Obsidian Tide with the lads I'm working in Obsidian Tide. So it's a combination of focus mostly, and also life things which have happened and caused me to pause for a bit and take some time off due to lack of energy and also to lack of ambition and motivation. I could release the album like 2 years earlier, but I dealt with a loss, a sudden loss, so things basically affected this on in this way. And yeah, sometime life has its own plan for you, and you make your own plans, and boom, things start to go on different sides. So it's mostly a combination of life incidents and things which happened, and as well as my main band, Obsidian Tide.
So yeah, no, I know that you're with Obsidian Tide. So those things that happened, what you call life, when you were working on this album, did they change the direction of the record in any way?
Conceptually, not so much. However, I can tell you that the more the time, lapped and there was a bigger gap, and the more the time evolved, I found myself putting different things to the songs, things I didn't put before. For example, different kind of like melodies to one or two sections, or even a different kind of a paragraph, a different kind of things in the song itself, parts. So I would say that the more the time evolved and got more long, so I get to the point that small things in the writing process emerged. For example, I mean, in the song Conjurers of Conformity, I decided to put in like a classical guitar that makes some sort of like oriental small kind of detail, like this kind of approach. And it happened like, I don't know, maybe like half a year or 8 months before I released the album. So it has its own benefits and its own downsides. The more time you have, the more time you have to think about the song. So I would say conceptually not as much, but material-wise, yeah, some things, yeah, yeah,
Money.
yeah.
And I want to thank you for doing the sound of the guitar with your mouth. A perfect way to explain it. That's how I do it, because I have no musical talent. I'll go like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a guitarist. I'm a guitar player. I of course sing and I write different kind of stuff, but at the very core of myself, I'm a guitar guy. I love guitars. I'm fascinated by guitar and guitar playing. I think about guitar. I dream with the instrument. So yeah, it came to me naturally, and I'm happy to hear you find it cool.
so of Road to I, there's elements of death metal, there's a lot of progressive metal, and there's even opera, because there's
Yeah.
a track with a female singing opera right now that I'm trying to remember which track it was. I think it's Ethics We Choose to Omit, if I'm not mistaken.
True. Yes, yes. She Inbal, the soprano vocalist I took for the project, features on two tracks. One is indeed Ethics We Chose to Emit, and the other one is a Proxima B, which she
Oh yeah,
featured. There's
great
yeah.
track.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear. So, yeah, I mean, this kind of solo project, I really wanted to do things differently as far as it comes to what I'm doing with Obsidian Tide. With Obsidian Tide, it's super long tracks, really constructed, with different kind of paragraphs and movements and parts. And this solo record, I really wanted to do something slightly different, both
Move
as far as it comes.
forward.
Exactly. Yeah, more straightforward, more into your face, more connected to, different aspects. I wanted to connect it in a more specific way, like the melodic approach. I really, really wanted to do this. And I said to myself, I wanted to incorporate things I couldn't find the ability to incorporate with Obsidian Tide. And one of them was the soprano vocals, the operatic kind of stuff, because, I really, really like bands and artists such as Arion and also Septic Flesh, which involved there also soprano vocals. And it really struck me back in the day and really got me involved. And I found it really, really nice the way soprano vocals and opera merge with metal. I thought there was something super, super unique because I couldn't find it in other, incorporate of vocal style, for example. So definitely I would mention Septic Flesh and Arian as far as comes to my inspirations to incorporate soprano in Mel.
Yeah, no, and this is also this record is 8 songs. It's like 32 minutes, so it's a fairly short record.
True.
Long enough to be a record and not be an EP, because sometimes I'm confused with
Yeah.
what is a record. Sometimes you have like a short record and it's 20 minutes, but it says album because it has, so it can be confusing. So
It is.
the Road to I deals with like evil and good. There's like two sides, and we'll show the artwork soon. So tell me a little bit about the concept behind this record.
Well, there is not like a huge concept that the songs follow one after the other consecutively. I would say there is more of a theme. And the theme was the idea of having a contrast, having not being so similar, like having like yin and yang kind of stuff. For example, indeed, like life and death and darkness and light and purity. And I would say in comparison in front defilement, and the idea is really to have both of the same or two different words both at the same time. That's what I want to say.
Okay.
So yeah, this is like the main theme, and the songs aren't really following this as a concept or anything, like, because each and every song has its very own identity as far as it comes to the
Yeah.
theme. But the entire idea was to really put in these contrast kind of approach, and having, for example, two different kind of vocals, like one super soft or operatic, and in the other hand, to have something super harsh and grotesque with Zed's vocals. And also with the songs themselves, it can be super, super heavy, but on the other side, it can be super soft and quiet and clean. So
Which
this is
vocals do you do?
okay. I'm doing only clean vocals. I can't growl, unfortunately. So I'm doing clean vocals only, and I'm not doing the sopranos, and the entire growls doing a dude I took for the project named Zed from the band Winterhorde, which Omer plays in. So yeah.
From Winter. It's awesome that you call him a dude. I'm like, I dude up from the street. You growl. He's, okay, come record. You can growl.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, when I'm thinking about him now, and even then when I recorded him in the recording space and edited its vocals, I also resembles to myself an orc, from Lord of the Rings, doing like the so yeah, but no,
That's a good way to
serious.
describe it. Like, can you sing like an orc?
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of vibes, and honestly speaking, now jokes aside, He's an amazing, amazing kind of person, and he's super professional, Zed. And I'm super, super happy about him being involved, and obviously with the takes he provided me with, because I think he nailed it completely. So yeah.
He's great. The girls are great. So it's good. You're not
Ex-
email from him like so I am an orc.
Yeah, I might change his name in WhatsApp and adding like a small orc emoji because this so it's Zed.
Yeah, yeah, no, but I like the contrasting styles of the vocals because it gives it like a different duality. Because when there's an album that's all like harsh vocals, I don't know. I like melodies, and this album is quite melodic, and it's quite like a fun record because it's like prog, but it's like this type of like fast prog with no. I think the longest track is like 5 minutes and a half, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is Proxima B.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, as far as comes to the heavier kind of songs, yes, this is the longest one, but the longest in the record is actually, the last piece I included, Ima Shali, which is only me and a classical guitar and my voice. But yeah,
I was
yeah, it
like, first of all, what does Imashali means?
wow, Ima Shali in Hebrew, in my native tongue. I'm from Israel, we talk Hebrew here, of course. It means my mother,
Oh,
my mom. So yes, I wasn't really sure as far as it comes to including this track in the record, but this is an eulogy kind of track that I decided to, dedicate to my late mother, which passed away 2.5 years ago. This is in connection to the loss I mentioned in the beginning of the video of me dealing with, which made me step away from producing and recording the record. So yeah, this is what it means in my native tongue. And yeah, this is the longest track as far as comes to the whole record, but Proxima B is definitely up there as far as comes to the more complicated kind of stuff. So yeah.
yeah, but Imashali is a nice way to end the album, and obviously a homage to your mother.
Thank
Uh,
you.
it's a nice song. It's nice, different. Not like when you listen to Disturbed, Down with the Sickness. That mother. Like,
Yeah, man. Wow. The down with the sickness.
I plays that song. Like now he's like, I want, because I'm sure it's not about his mother, but his mother will be like, can you stop playing that song, because it's like you're insulting me. It's,
Yeah, yeah. I get you on this one. I really do. It's just that, at the end of the day, everyone is feeling and dealing differently with
yeah,
such each situation as far as comes to music creation, because, I know a lot of musicians from home soil and also abroad, and some of them also unfortunately managed to lose a family member. And the way things got out is completely different. So it is also a contrast. We as human beings, which we are different, and the way we see things and the way we create as musicians, it's amazing. So, yeah.
yeah, and I think everyone can relate to losing parents or uh and songs like the best songs are the ones that are emotion or loss, like a song that obviously is not metal but I love, and it's like when you listen to the story, maybe you know the Eric Clapton's Tears in Heaven.
Yeah, of course.
Of course,
Of-
talking his son that died, that's I don't know how he can play that song, honestly. Like something, I'm a parent, and it's such a tragic but beautiful song. So Road to I, to me, when I listen to this title, and now that I know more about the background of the album, it seems like this is a very introspective record looking inside maybe your last years.
Yes, you are definitely right as far as it comes, to what it incorporates, because it felt to me really natural to call the record the way I called him, which is Road to I, because I thought about every different kind of song and what I really wanted it to discuss about. And, some things managed to get into the production process later than some other songs as well. And the idea was to really get connected to things that drive me as a persona, and also to shed light towards different perspectives and narratives as an artist. Because at Obscenitad, I'm doing this and other things. And here I really wanted to shed some light about different things from the inside, the entire idea about, getting revolved in some songs about the outer space. I'm fascinated with science fiction as a person, and also the quieter, the more softer songs, which are more emotional and melancholic, because I'm also very much this kind of person as well as far as comes to creating music. And yeah, the entire idea about the song structure is to have the song speak about the things that fascinates me. When in Obsidian Tide, for example, it's not only the case because it's not that I am calling the shots 100% entirely exactly as far as it comes, to the themes and the motifs, we actually incorporate other things that the other guys are fascinated by as well, but we also kind of come to agreement as far as it comes to it. So with Road to I, yes, it's very personal, I would say, very, very personal, even in the more harsh kind of songs and paragraphs, because even there I found myself talking about things that really, really, bugs me as a person. For example, the decay and the dismantle of our society here in Israel, the way people, starting to treat each other, and how things starting to slowly collapse as far as it comes, to the way we talk and treat to each other and things that happening. So yeah, very, very much.
No, yeah. Did you find it what is harder for you to like writing as a solo artist than being in a band? Like because you were like treading some maybe uh type of like material that you wouldn't do uh in your in your like main band.
Sometimes, yeah, but in the vast majority of the time, I found it to be a little easier, because at the end of the day, I knew what I wanted to achieve, and I knew what I wanted to incorporate in the songs as far as it comes to its structure, the feeling, and the way things translated. Where sometimes in Obsidian Tide, for example, that it's more collective and more collaborative, especially in our later stage in our careers, because at the very beginning of the band of Obsidian Tide, I was really like putting things forward and writing the most of the stuff, even though, at the very beginning of our record, we found ourselves also collaborating and putting more things together. But the more the years advanced, I found that the dynamics with the band got more collaborative and more together, rather than me, where it was only me at our EP when we released it, or the vast majority of the first track were Pillars of Creation. So later stage, yeah, I would say that as far as it comes to the solo kind of approach, it was much easier for me because I already knew what I wanted, and I knew the kind of people I wanted for it. Where in Obsidian Tide, sometimes we take the time, we are not entirely sure, and we take one paragraph and we try to maximize it 100%. And it takes time, and you also need to, take a good care about, the other person desire, and see how we can infuse it at once. So sometimes, yeah, but in the vast majority, it was slightly easier for me, I'll be honest.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. So let me show the artwork of
Sure.
the album because it's a great artwork and I like to talk about artwork. So
Yeah.
here is the artwork. I'm gonna show it right now. Here's the artwork.
Oh.
Road to I. First of all, who tell me a little bit about the inspiration for this artwork and who did the artwork as well.
Okay, so basically, when I thought about an artwork for the project or anything alike, it's not like I knew I want the hourglass shape, the infinite kind of hourglass, or the river or anything alike. I was mostly revolving around feeling. When I spoke up to different artists, I spoke with them about the kind of feeling I wanted it to represent, and I wanted the artwork to put outside for the person who sees it. So I started to, look around for different kind of artists. I spoke with a couple of them, and I somehow found myself bumping into a dude that's called Grigory, and he actually has its own kind of page and business is called Fear and Sorrow Brutal Artwork. He's usually making these kind of artworks for brutal death metal, technical death metal kind of bands, music which I like, the kind of vibe I really, really like myself, and I try to incorporate in the music as well. So I spoke with him, and I just spoke with him about the kind of feeling and the environment I wanted this to have. And the number one thing I would say that I spoke with him about is I wanted the artwork to represent the contrast, the assimilarity between things. I wanted, as I said, like there was harsh and clean kind of side, darkness and light, and life and death. And I told him about this kind of desire, and he told me he actually has something in mind. And after like a week or something, he sent me a sketch with this kind of idea, because I also spoke with him about the themes of the songs. For example, Seeds of Immortality speaks about the most initial point in human evolution in our life, that we can be and get to like an infinite kind of life, to be immortal. And I also spoke with him about the other side of things, which is the societal degeneration, the decay I mentioned earlier. This is how you see, for example, different kind of the art, which is reflecting also upon these themes. So I really, really like the outcome, because he managed to also give the feeling I really wanted it to have, the similarity and the contrast, but also put inside, after some sketches and talks we had, some sort of like motifs of the songs, like the hourglass, the infinite hourglass that represents Seeds of Immortality, and also the burning city that represents ethics we chose to meet, a society, a good, strong society with morals that all of a sudden collapsing, and boom, things starting to crumble and get outside. And also the stars, which is taking notice and actually speaking about, the motif of Proxima B, of the humanity departure of this planet, because we need to find a new home. So this is pretty much a story as far as it comes to the art and what we spoke about and how things emerged.
I really think he nailed it. It looks great,
Thanks, man.
and it really captures the essence of this record. So yeah, it's a great artwork. So yeah, it really looks cool, and it goes with the music. So this album, you released this September 20th. Did you release it physically, or was it only digitally?
Yes, September 20th. This is when the album got released. Honestly speaking, time flies. We're at the beginning of December. I thought about this morning. I mean, I thought about our interview that we're about to have, and I said to myself, "Wow, it's the beginning of December. Time flies. It feels as if, I released the album just like a day or two. Honestly, a day or two or a week tops after 8 years work." So yeah, it's insane to me to feel it. And yeah, I release it both digitally and physically in a CD format, a digipack. So it was important for me, after releasing 2 albums with Obsidian Tide, and there was a certain standard and certain level, I really wanted to keep the bar. So both physically and digitally, yes.
Where can people get it physically?
Bandcamp. This is like the number one place, because at the end of the day, I don't have like distribution deals, not in Europe and not in South or Central America or even North America. It's all kind of do it yourself kind of approach for me, because I have all the stuff here. I pack it, I go to the postal service and ship it. It's all by me.
You're like
So the
one-man production.
yeah, exactly so. Yeah, so yeah, it's a bit frustrating at times, because it's a lot of hassle. But honestly speaking, I'm already used to it, so it's perfectly fine. And yeah, Bandcamp is this is the place.
Yeah, you don't want to give money to the CEO of Spotify.
Uh I'm honestly speaking, I'm too little. If I was like Jay-Z or Kanye West, I would say, what? They're taking this? Hell no, man.
I see, but I just share my Spotify rap,
Yes.
which is interesting. But yeah, Bandcamp is a great way. You get more money from Bandcamp. So I'll post the link for Bandcamp so people who want to buy the digipack, if they want to get it. So What's next for you? Are you what like do you have plans to play this music live for this record, or do you have plans already to go record with your main band?
Okay. I would really love to, and I would be super happy to play this kind of material live. Like 90% of the personnel are located here in Israel, so it would be rather easy for me to, form a live band and the entire band for this project. However, the drummer I took, which is an absolute machine, is from Australia. This Dan
Oh,
Preston from Nobly Viscaris and Vipassi and Black Lava, he actually located in Australia. Now, we do
Australian
have,
bands and musicians.
second.
Australia has some great bands and musicians.
Wow. 100%, it's crazy. Something there in the water, in the air. I don't know.
That
I
I
don't.
two musicians in Australia, and I told them, "What the hell do you have in your water?"
Yes, it's crazy, and it's so true to so many genres. It can be melodic death metal, progressive black metal, even mainstream stuff. Post-rock kind of things. It's amazing. So many great acts and so many professionals. It's insane. So yeah, I mean, we do have great drummers here in Israel, and I'm sure I'll be able to find someone that will be able to do what he's doing, even in the more complex kind of places in the songs. But at the very moment, I mean, I need to feel the I need to first of all feel it's the right time for it, to form, this kind of band for it. Maybe do like a release party, even though it's already like 2.5 months after, but it might take some time, honestly speaking. So
No.
yeah, and with Obsidian Tide, we already got back together. We working on two new different ideas for songs.
Oh, awesome.
Um, yeah. So the very main objectives for me right now would be to continue writing, with Obsidian Tide and developing ideas. Also try to play a bit more as far as comes to shows with Obsidian Tide and maybe find some sort of festivals or options for tour with Obsidian Tide abroad because we did it twice and it was amazing. It was amazing. The feeling was awesome. And slowly but surely try to see if I can merge the personnel I took for the record with the right drummer and do a gig. Yeah, I wish I would really love to. Really.
Baby steps. You'll get there when you get there. Uh,
Exactly.
yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, but I would recommend this to people who like progressive music with some death metal and some experimentation. I saw another YouTuber actually reviewed the album Rhymes and Signatures.
Yes.
So that
Ian.
he reviewed the album. Yeah, he's great with progressive stuff, and I review a little bit of everything. But yeah, but thank you for emailing me because if not, I wouldn't have known that this album came out. So, so I got to. There's just so much music that comes.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
watching the other day a video by Anthony Fantano where he's talking about how many music and apparently there's one day this year that one day only that more music was uploaded than the whole year of 1989.
Wow. Which day was it?
Uh, I don't know. It was this what one day a lot of people because uploaded music and uh, there's so many uploaded music that like it can be good and bad. It can be.
What? Yes, I mean, yeah, it's crazy how, I mean, time evolves and technology evolves and gives opportunities which weren't there before for musicians to actually record and do stuff by their own and make things. And obviously, the flow of music is insane. It's an insane amount of albums that getting out and groups that are forming, especially this year in particular amazing albums, amazing releases,
Oh,
so many. It's unbelievable. So
there's
yeah,
a
I
lot
mean,
of
second,
there's a lot of bad ones too that I covered.
I well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not always roses and honey and amazing stuff. So I get you completely. I'm happy to hear you like my record. Honestly speaking, it's always
Maybe I
Good to
have musicians to play, and I can do my city shingy, city shingy over it, and I could have my own record. So
hear.
critique me. I'm like, how dare you talk about when you put out this crap?
Yeah, man, it's at the end of the day, it's perspectives, and some people and artists, just so focused and see things in a very specific way. But no, honestly speaking, it's an interesting time in our lives because, labels, to my personal belief, are no longer necessary as they were before. We have
No, yeah,
internet, we have.
it's like you needed more labels, but now I think it's more of DIY, and I think you get more in return. It's more work, but more money will come to you.
Exactly so. And it's so important because at the end of the day, producing a record and fight, especially when you're doing solo stuff and you don't have people that you can have the entire expenses split or anything, like when you do this kind of stuff, it's so expensive. Find the right guy to mix and master, find the right personnel, the session musicians, which at the end of the day you need to pay them for
Of
the
course,
service. And it's so expensive nowadays. And yeah, I feel that, being independent, having Bandcamp and doing stuff differently and giving you money that you might didn't have the ability to get before. Otherwise, you're a super big band that gets like 20, $30,000 for, recording a record and going out of tool. But again, at the end of the day, we're talking about super small, I'm super small as far as it comes to it. So I'm not there at all. So yeah, yeah.
awesome. But yeah, it's good that you're able to do your own music and put it out there. So before I let you go, Oz, anything that you like to say to the fans before we go?
Yeah, we're getting to the end of the year. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone that checked out the record and recommended it to anyone. And I also want to thank you for, having me to doing this interview and communicating with me. I'm really, really appreciating this. And yeah, it's not like one and done. This record, it's not gonna be the only record of me. I already have ideas, templates, some sort of sketches, old sketches that I managed to write parallel to the production of this record and the other musical adventures I am having. So it's not going to be a one and done. There is about to be another Avneya record. I can't say when. Hopefully, it will be much quicker than 8 years. So yes, uh, yeah, I'm definitely on it. I really want to do another. And yeah, writing music is everything. And, listening and having the other side saying that something, even like a small portion of your music made something to him from the inside is everything. So yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted to say. And again, thank you. I'm super grateful, honestly.
Awesome. So Couchers, Road to I is out now. The band is Avneya. So I'll put the link somewhere, the Bandcamp link, so people who want to pre-order physically can do it. So again, Oz, thank you for meeting from Tel Aviv here to Puerto Rico and talking about this album. So until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.